Hello and welcome to a pull day routine for flat bench style Bowflexes. This routine is part of my foundations program where we write down our resistance setting, write down the number of reps we did, and we come back to it so we can try to raise those numbers up, and that's how we're gonna get stronger. Now, free PDF is linked in the description so you can follow along, but if you're looking for more structure or want to support the channel, you can purchase the program or become a channel member. Get access to all my workout programs at just the $6 a month tier. Now, in this routine, I'm gonna be using short handles for the first lift, and you really need some short handles for this routine because we're gonna be doing just a short range of motion, and if you use the Bowflex handles, it's just too long of a handle. So I'll be using that for the first lift, and then after that, I'm switching to a bar, and you can use the bar that came with your Bowflex if it came with one, lat pull down bar or the squat bar. I'd probably go with the squat bar. And we're gonna be doing some bicep curls and some rows and a bunch of different stuff with this. Though you could do this entire routine with just the short handles if you'd like. Now this bar here, this came with my resistance upgrade kit, which I'll be using throughout this routine. It's these elastic bands that are down here where we can clip on a whole bunch more weight, double, maybe even triple the resistance that your Bowflex puts out. So throughout this routine, we're gonna have this clock counting down everything. I'm gonna be counting my reps as I go, targeting 10 reps per set, and that's generally what I'd recommend is 10 reps. That you can adjust at 6, 8, 10, 12 reps. And this clock here, this is really gonna be counting our rest intervals and keeping us on pace and on course here. So we're gonna have a little 4-minute warm up, then we're gonna rack up our resistance. Hope you join me for it, and I'll see you right back. All right, let's start out with some jogging in place here for 90 seconds. Alternatively, you can do some tuck jacks if you'd like. And while we're doing this, let me tell you about today's lifts. Our first lift is gonna be a dumbbell row. So we're gonna have the bench angle position with the short handles. Short handles are really gonna help with that short range of motion. And then this resistance kit of mine, this really ups that resistance for really satisfying row. After that, the next lift is a shoulder shrug. This is another one where having that extra resistance is really gonna help out a lot. Make a satisfying lift. Then we're gonna go into a seated row. And for all of these with the bar, you can use the bar or the handles. And then just the good old bicep curl. And then we're gonna finish things off with a shoulder raise. Now, the weight setting on these, I kind of start out with the highest weight setting, and then throughout the routine, we're gonna be slowly dropping the weight setting as we go, because that shoulder raise, it's a tough lift. And it's gonna be difficult to really do a whole lot of weight with it. Okay, so we're gonna be winding this down here, and we're gonna move into some head rotations. So we're just doing this for 15 seconds. Trying to loosen up our neck, just do some full spirals. Let's change directions. And we're gonna move into some torso twist. What I like doing here, hands together in front of you, and then just kind of spin around. Loosen up your spine. Just make sure you got some nice flexibility today. Okay, from here, we're gonna kind of make this W here, and then we're gonna do some arm circles here, and we're just trying to loosen up our chest, our shoulders, and our back. So we're gonna go one direction. Now let's change it up, go the other way. And then from here, we're gonna move into some YTWs. So Ys, you're just gonna reach up nice and high, all the way up, and then bring your hands together, and then all the way out, and together, and then make a W here, and together. Now, as you do this, really try to stretch, and then get a nice squeeze in your back. Really feel it in those shoulder blades. You know, as you go out wide, and bring them together, and then get a nice squeeze in your back with the W. Okay, we got one more of this cycle. There's a Y, T, and a W. Okay, finger pulls up next. We're just trying to loosen up our hands, loosen up our forearms. Just pull it back. Okay, let's switch sides here. And then when the clock hits 20, this is going to be your time. You can do whatever you need to do. I always like kind of finishing on a forward fold, but totally up to you. Okay, so let's start getting our bench in position here. I've got mine at the angled position. We're gonna do this for the first lift. And again, I'm gonna be starting out really heavy with this first lift. I'm gonna be racking up 200 pounds of resistance. So that's, I've got 2 elastic bands and 1 red band, along with 80 pounds of power rods. I'm gonna do that on both sides here. And for these elastic bands, again, they just kind of clip in here really simply. And that's going to add in all of that extra resistance. And we're good to go here. All right, so I'm all set up on each side. Let me go ahead and get some gloves going. It is a hot one out here. And for this first lift, this dumbbell row, a couple tips here. What you're gonna wanna do is try to keep your shoulders parallel with the crossbar as you're pulling this weight back. And then I like having this arm resting firmly on the bench here. And then we're gonna take the handle and then slowly pull it up towards our chest. Hold it there for a second and then slowly release the weight. 3. It's tempting to want to like open this up and go out wide. That's not the way to do it though. So there's 4, try to pull it straight back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we're just gonna be switching sides here. And as you pull back, I like kind of holding the weight in this fully contracted position. That's gonna add a bit more challenge to it as well. Try to also lower the weight nice and slowly. So I've got my inner foot on, or knee on the bench, and then bracing myself up against it. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as you pull it back, think about the grip when it's hitting your chest. That's 6. 7, is it a hammer grip or is it a natural grip? There's 8, 9, and 10. Because we've got a total of 6 sets of this, 3 on each side. And for the first 2 sets, just do what's ever natural to you. And then for the final set, I want you to switch your grip up a little bit. So if you're doing a natural grip like this, when that last set, try to twist it in and then do a hammer grip as you row. Okay, here we go. Get in position. Pull it back, that's 1. 2. Again, try to hold that weight up there for a second and then slowly lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Right, so we should be writing down our resistance as we go. I'm just flying through here. 10 everywhere so far. Okay, let's go ahead and get in position. Again, keep those shoulders parallel to your crossbar. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Keep writing it down. And this lift, I love doing this lift. And until I had this upgrade kit, I just could not really get this satisfying resistance. And now that I have this kit on here, I do this lift all the time now. It's one of my favorites. All right, switch up your grip here and pull it back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Keep writing it down. We got our final set of this coming up here. And then we're gonna hook up the bar if you got one, or you can keep using the handles when we go into shoulder shrugs. Shoulder shrugs, I also like putting the maximum resistance my machine has on it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we can go ahead and flatten out our bench here. And I'm gonna also bump my weight up here. And then we're gonna hook up the bar. Though you don't need the bar necessarily for this lift. Now this bar here, this comes with the upgrade kit. Works great for all of these arm exercises. Okay, so now I'm gonna hold on to this bar, kind of lean away from the tower, and then raise my shoulders, bring them up to my ears. That's 1, 2, take a long isometric hold, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's write down our resistance and our reps here. A little bit longer rest interval here because we're working out both sides of the body at the time. During the first lift there, we were kind of moving pretty quickly, a little quicker than I remember, but That's because we're only working at half the body, so we don't need as much of a rest interval. So let's go ahead and get back in position here. Make sure you're also standing on the plate here. Otherwise, it's like you're, you might have the Bowflex move around behind you. So make sure you're standing on the plate. Again, you can lean forward, and then we're gonna be raising those shoulders up towards your ears. Hold it for a sec, and then drop it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Okay, so we have one more set of those shoulder shrugs coming up, and then we're gonna move into a seated row. If you got the bar hooked up, you can keep using the bar, or you can use the handles. I'll be dropping my weight by, looks like about 20% when I get into that. So for the seated row, only thing we're doing is changing the weight, and then we're gonna be seated on the bench here. So let's go ahead and get in position. Hands holding the bar here, and then let's bring it up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you have more? 10. I'm going for 12. And 12. Okay. All right. 1 minute here. Again, write down that number. And then we're going to set up for our seated row. So I'm going to be dropping my weight just a little bit here. So now I'm down to 180 pounds of power rods hooked up on both sides. I'm counting these bands. The black ones is 50s, and then the red one here is a 20. Now for this lift, what I like doing is grabbing this bar, and then I'm gonna have my feet up against the crossbar. Otherwise, I slide around on the bench here. And then we're just gonna sit up nice and tall, bring these handles back, and then slowly retract it. Now you can have your hands out wide, shoulder width apart, or a little bit more narrow. That's 1, 2. I have mine about shoulder width apart, a little bit wider, I guess. 3, 4. What you exhaling is you're pulling it in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, keep writing it down. We're about halfway through today's routine. We got this full 1 minute rest interval here. It is already a hot one here in Florida. I've been trying to move when I record these routines to either kind of late at night or early in the morning to, you know, so it's not so hot in here, but I'm sweating pretty good already. Okay, let's get in position here. Now, if you're sweating a lot like I am, weightlifting gloves really help a lot. So you're not having the handles or the bar slide around. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, gloves are one thing that I was not able to include in this upgrade kit of stuff I like using with this machine, and that's because, you know, gloves are different sizes, small, medium, large, extra large, and I couldn't really accommodate. I didn't want to do a one size fits all. Just get the gloves that work best for you. So you're going to get the bands, the bar, the short handles, you get some ankle straps, and then you get a bunch of other straps that are really handy to have with this machine. There's also a strap not hooked up right now that locks in the leg extension, which is really nice too. Anyways, let's get in position here for this next set. Here we go, row it back. That's 1, 2, get a nice squeeze in your back. 3, feel those shoulder blades coming together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see how many you can do. 10, 11, and 12. All right, so next lift is gonna be those bicep curls. I'm gonna be dropping my weight setting from 180 pounds to 100 pounds. So what is that, almost a 50% drop here. And then don't forget to write down your resistance setting as we just finish that up here. Still have a little bit more time here. And then for bicep curls, again, you can do these with the handles. I kind of like changing it up and using the bar every once in a while. And I'm gonna be standing here facing the tower, arms about shoulder width apart. And I might be just doing a nice curl here, raising it up, and then slowly lowering the weight. Now, for more resistance, get further away from the tower. For less resistance, and a little bit closer. That's 2. Now focus on slowly lowering the weight as you do these. 3, 4, 5, 6. You should be exhaling as you lift the weight up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. I think we're going a little slower than I had planned here, or finished a little late. That's okay. Let's write it down. Adjust that weight setting if needed. And you got a little time here for yourself before we get into that next lift. Okay, when the clock hits 10 seconds, I want you facing the machine, getting ready to go. Okay, 10 seconds. Hands on the bar. Let's start on time here. And there we go, that's 1. Slowly lower. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay, we have a total of 4 sets of those. I know I am struggling on it, so I'm shooting for 10 on each, but if I come up a little bit short, that's okay. You know, as you do these, if there's any lifts where you feel like you finish your set and you still have another 5, 6, 7 reps in the tank, you probably need to bump that weight setting up a little bit, or maybe next time when you do the routine, bump it up. A commenter of mine mentioned writing down the weight setting they want to use next time when they're doing their current lift. So that could be another strategy you use as well. Okay, in position, your hands on the bar. Get ready to curl it up in 3, 2, 1. That's 1. 2. 3, no rocking, no momentum here. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, write it down. I actually only got 8 in. I'm going to count to 10. Just maybe that might help you out. I don't know. We got one more set of bicep curls. And I want you to just go into failure on this last set of curls. There's actually not a lot of bicep work in this pull day routine. That's so we can fit shoulders in and then still squeeze this workout in about 30 minutes. So really, take this one to failure and give it all you got. Okay, facing the tower, let's grab the handles or grab the bar, get in position. Now let's curl it up. That's 1. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, final lift coming up. Just 2 sets remain, and that's going to be a shoulder raise. And for this, I'm going to be dropping down to just the 50-pound power rod. A medium weight setting, 30, and then a lightweight setting, 10 or 20 even. I go 20 here. This is a tough lift to complete here, but always a good one. So we're going to take this bar here. Again, you can use the handles as well. And then we're just going to try to raise it up to shoulder height, hold it for a second, and then slowly lower it back down. Okay, join me here in 3, 2, 1. Raise it up in front of us and drop. That's 1, 2, and try to keep the movement limited to your shoulders. It's 3, 4, 5. You should not feel it in your midsection. 6. Your core should be in a neutral position. That's 7, 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. All right, jot it down. Get ready for this last lift. And while we're doing this, I want to give a big shout out to my elite Ko-Fi and Patreon members that support the channel. make producing content like this sustainable for me. These are at the elite tier. At the $6 a month tier, you get access to all my workout programs. Great way to show support. Appreciate that from all of them and all my Ko-Fi and Patreon members. Thank you very much. Okay, let's finish this thing out. Final set of the day. Nice and tall. And let's raise it up all with the shoulders. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Awesome job on finishing this routine. Don't forget to remove your power rods from tension and wrap them up with a bungee cord. Great job on finishing this out. You should be proud of yourself for completing it. Make sure you got the printout all filled out. Maybe even write in those numbers for next time. Until then, be good yourself, be good others, and thank you for watching.